Let's jump right into this absolutely harrowing story of a family outing that turned into a full-blown medical emergency. We're looking at a case that really highlights just how fast a perfectly normal, peaceful evening can flip into a literal fight for your life. Today's explainer is going to walk you through a recent incident in Kansas. It's a powerful reminder of the hidden dangers in nature and, honestly, the sheer resilience of the human spirit.
Now, think about the stark contrast here. On one hand, you've got the quintessential summer experience, right? A family gathered around a campfire, just kicking back and enjoying the outdoors. But on the exact flip side, you have this sudden, terrifying medical crisis. It's the kind of scenario that could happen to anyone, which is exactly why understanding the chain of events we're about to unpack is so absolutely crucial for all of us. Section 1, the campfire incident, taking place on May 28th at Cheney Lake. Moving on to Section 2, a medical nightmare and the rapid escalation of symptoms. So our timeline begins in Goddard, Kansas, just a short drive west of Wichita. A mother of 4, Brittany Miller, was out enjoying a lakeside campfire with her husband Jake and their kids. It was during this totally idyllic May 28th evening that several spiders crawled onto her and bit her. And you can see how rapidly things escalated from there. Just 4 days after the campfire, Brittany started experiencing severe swelling and agonizing pain around one of the bites on her calf. I mean, this wasn't just some itchy red bump. It was bad enough that she had to seek urgent care. By June 4th, she wasn't just sitting in a doctor's office. She was admitted to Wesley Hospital in Wichita and rushed straight into surgery. That is a wildly fast trajectory, going from a summer evening to a surgical emergency in exactly 1 week. Eventually, she was released to recover at home on July 11th, but as we'll see, that was far from the end of the story.
The really crucial point here is the visceral, terrifying physical pain Brittany described. Just listen to her own words. She said it was like a fire poker that's metal shooting down my leg into my foot, and it felt like it was being stabbed. That gives us such a specific, chilling window into exactly how severe this venom was acting on her body just days after the initial bites. Section 3, Fighting for Survival. Let's look at this perfect storm of complications. As we get into the intensive care unit portion of the story, we really have to look beyond the initial bite itself. We need to understand why this specific incident became so incredibly dangerous. The spider venom? Well, that was just the catalyst. What we're actually looking at is a cascading, perfect storm of underlying health conditions. See, Brittany already had existing blood clotting disorders and pre-existing liver problems. And to make matters worse, she had allergies to certain medications, which completely handcuffed the doctors when it came to treatment options. Because of all this, she developed severe secondary infections and ultimately went into end-stage liver failure. It's a domino effect, and it highlights exactly why doctors had to pull her family aside and deliver the heartbreaking news that she might not survive. Confronted with that incredibly grim reality, they had to make an unimaginably difficult decision. Now, Brittany herself remembers very little from her time in the ICU, but she made the courageous choice to aggressively fight for her life. She chose to continue rigorous medical treatment and actively turned down the option to enter hospice care. Section 4, the road to recovery and the long journey home. Thankfully, this story does take a hopeful turn. Brittany miraculously survived the absolute worst of the crisis, but getting released from the hospital on July 11th was really just closing one chapter and opening another incredibly long, tough one. She's recovering at home now, but she requires ongoing home health care, intense physical therapy, and regular visits to specialists. Most pressingly, because of the end-stage liver failure triggered by everything she went through, she's currently hoping to become eligible for a liver transplant. Yet, through all of this, her main motivation, as her family has shared, is simply to get back to being a mom and, someday, a grandmother. Finally, Section 5, Staying Safe Outdoors. Let's get into some expert advice on venomous spiders. We want to make sure you walk away from this explainer empowered and prepared. So let's pivot to some really actionable preventative advice from Dr. Raymond Cloyd, an entomologist at Kansas State University. Now, even though doctors were never able to confirm the exact species of spider that bit Brittany, we definitely need to know what our primary threats are. These are the 2 major venomous culprits commonly found in Kansas and much of the surrounding area, the brown recluse and the black widow. Simply recognizing that these 2 share our environment is your very first step in avoiding a similar medical emergency. Dr. Cloyd laid out some highly practical, actionable steps to protect yourself and your family. Step 1. Seal up any cracks around your home to keep them out in the first place. Step 2, use extra caution when handling boxes. Those are notorious hiding spots for spiders. Step 3, and this is a big one, Always, always check inside your shoes before putting them on. It's a classic place for a spider to hide. And step 4, just be really careful when moving undisturbed items in your garage, your shed, or even around your campsite. They sound like simple habits, sure, but as we've learned today, they are literally habits that could save your life. So, we've just seen how incredibly fast a simple, relaxing campfire can escalate into a total medical nightmare, especially when the unpredictability of nature collides with underlying health conditions. Now that you're armed with this knowledge and Dr. Cloyd's safety protocols, I want to leave you with this thought. What specific preventative measures are you going to implement before you and your loved ones head back into the great outdoors?